Spider-Man Trilogy, Magic Mike, True Blood, just 3 of the spots where we fell in love with this man. He is as Pittsburgh sports as there is as anybody, and narrated the documentary about the Pittsburgh Penguins just a few years ago. Diehard Steeler fan and a big-time Thrones fan and a great friend. Good to see you, Joe Manganiello.
Thanks, Rich. Great seeing you. It's been a long time.
It has been. I saw you just
like
last
12
night.
hours.
I just saw you last night. What a I mean, you put together quite the shindig. Like 20, 25 of your good friends, right? Close people.
Yeah.
We sit there.
Food truck,
little food truckage.
Nice.
Susie provided the cake.
amazing cake,
a Thrones cake,
the iron cake,
that when it opens up, when you open it up, it's red velvet,
blood
cut in there.
Yeah,
little red velvet cake.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And it's funny. Awesome. So Brockman, the show ends, credits go down, silence in the room, and then we start chirping about what we just saw.
Of course.
Like, let's have some cake.
What was the initial reaction by you guys?
Well, I'll start this off.
Sure.
I thought the first half of it was amazing. And the amazing thing is that just as it transitioned from Jon offing Daenerys, and Daenerys goes off in the talon of her dragon.
Pretty cool scene.
Okay.
Amazing.
Your wife heard the food truck trying to leave upstairs.
Trying to smash their way out of my driveway.
Exactly.
Yes,
So we had to stop.
You paused?
yeah, we hit pause. It was like an intermission in the middle.
Oh my gosh.
Because there was like, they were ringing the doorbell frantically, like, how do we get out of this driveway?
It was a perfect place to cut it, though.
It was.
It was like an intermission. It was just like it faded to black, even.
Right, it did.
Yeah.
Right.
The way like Gone with the Wind was part
Just,
one, part
literally,
two. Yeah.
it faded to black, and
So I ran up, had to open the garage, start helping them back out. Don't smash my wall, all that stuff. And then we came back, and it was like a different episode.
it was and I said to you after it was over, it's amazing I'm making this analogy, but did you ever see the movie Stripes?
Mm-hmm. Two different movies.
Two different.
Once they hit the.
That's what. And the first half was amazing.
Yep.
And then the second half, you're kind of like, did you run out of ideas?
Yep.
Like Full Metal Jacket too. That's two movies.
So I could not have been more disappointed in the last 40 minutes of it. The first 45 minutes
Amazing.
was tremendous.
Well, I think there were a lot of people that were very vocal in the week previous about Daenerys destroying all of King's Landing.
Me being one of them.
Very controversial.
What did you think of that?
Well, I had my thoughts about it, but then when I watched the first half of the finale, I thought, I don't care what anybody said. They had to get to this point. These shots are beautiful. I mean, all the troops outside of the Red Keep,
Right.
this destroyed Red Keep in the blizzard with the Targaryen banner hanging. I mean, and then that shot of her with the wings flapping.
Oh, man.
And then the scene between her and Jon. Like, I thought, you know what? Like, it all was to get to
It
here.
worked. It worked.
It totally worked for me.
Well, I mean, again, though, in terms of Daenerys, the Khaleesi destroying the town, destroying King's Landing, I had such a problem with it being 2 shows after she was fighting for humanity. And then 2 shows later, she has no regard for humanity. It was just a very quick heel turn for me to be able to swallow. That said, I was still fired up. I think the show is truly, culturally iconic for a reason.
Sure.
I was still fired up for that finale last night. And the way that they started and picked it up from there all the way through to Jon Snow taking care of business was remarkable. I know some people have had problems with the dragon not torching Jon on the spot, like sending him to death. But
Would it
rather,
have worked?
Well, I mean,
Him being a Targaryen.
you know what?
Exactly.
With the dragon, if the dragon knew. And also, dragons in the books have like human level intelligence. So I guess the debate can begin about how much the dragon was aware of what that throne meant.
Right. I guess
Apparently,
that's the question.
apparently a lot.
Apparently.
Because ultimately it was the Iron Throne that killed Dany, and so that's why Drogon melted the throne.
Sure.
It was her desire and quest, because that's all she talked about for years and years and years.
So it was almost the dragon saying, I'm aware that this is what did her in.
Exactly. That's
In
how
a
I took
way,
that's
I
how I
mean,
took
which
it.
is
By the way,
I mean,
very
it's a woke
intelligent.
dragon.
I know woke dragon was just a,
Yep.
but I'm still buying it, Joe. Joe Manganiello here on the Rich Eisen show. I'm still buying it.
Shows don't come along that are culturally significant that way.
I know that. I know that. And I know that, you're friendly with one of the creators of the show as well, Dan Weiss. Yeah. He comes and plays Dungeons and Dragons in your house?
This was revealed on Instagram, yes.
Okay. This is all right.
True.
I can. Yeah. All right. So, what in the hell
when are
is
you
that?
coming over to play, Rich?
You know what? He's trying to get me to come over and play Dungeons and Dragons.
He wouldn't know how to roll the multi.
I did back in the day.
I wouldn't know how to do it.
I played it in high school.
You did?
I
multi-number dice.
I did.
Oh.
Wow. Is this like you coming out to me on national TV?
Let's put a pin in it for a second. I just had a problem last night again with it's now time to finish the show. Mm-hmm. Okay. Jon Snow kills Daenerys. The only evidence of him killing Daenerys has been grabbed by a talon and flown off who knows where. So now we're cutting to just in the next scene, and it's weeks later.
3 weeks later.
Right?
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks later.
And so Jon walks out of after killing Khaleesi, and there's no evidence of it. And he's just like, what? He just reported himself to the authorities?
Did he confess?
Like,
yeah, exactly.
And and then his lineage that is codified in the books that we could see somewhere, his actual claim to the throne, nobody brings it up when they're in this whole big confab. Nobody brings up, oh, by the way, and the guy who knows it is sitting right there trying to bang the table for democracy in Sam Tarley. And he doesn't bring up the fact, by the way, the one guy who's locked up is actually the rightful heir to the throne. He should have it. That's not even brought up at all. And so that is just bizarre that Tyrion then takes the stage and reasons with the most unreasonable people for the last 8 seasons.
And he's the prisoner.
To pound the table for Bran. And Bran, who sits there and wargs in everything whenever it's convenient for him, and then just sits on his ass when it doesn't, basically says,
why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm game if you are. Yeah. And it's just like, so then why the hell just send Theon to his death? And I mean, like, there's so many different ways to just deconstruct this that upsets me so much.
Well, two takeaways from me.
Okay.
One, there's, there has been a conversation in the zeitgeist about ambition being evil.
Yes.
And I think what Game of Thrones argued, or at least what the finale argues, is that ambition is not evil. If Jon Snow had the ambition to be king and said, no, you know what? I'm the rightful heir. I'm going to set this right. Millions of people wouldn't have died.
Right.
So it's not about ambition being evil. It's about being ambitious, or the right people being ambitious, and then doing the right thing with their power. And if he would have, all those lives would have been saved.
Okay.
Now, the other takeaway is you and I both, we called Tyrion for the win.
Yes, we did, for the W.
Now, here's my argument. Bran is not a demonstrative king. He's not somebody who's going to step in and say, don't do this or do that based upon his infinite knowledge of the past. He just kind of hangs out.
Yes, he does.
So Tyrion, by default, as the hand of the king, he's
the king
Dick
anyway.
Cheney. He's running Westeros. Mm-hmm. So in a way, we should get partial credit or some kind of points.
Well, in terms of credit, I mean, I won our survivor pool, which again we'll get to that in a second. I'm Joe Manganiello here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm enjoying this conversation. So, you did not have an issue with the way the show ended last night?
Well, I'll say this: it was unpredictable, because I think in my mind, I thought Daenerys would have died during the Night King fight. Or been turned.
Yes.
And then her dragon would have been turned. So there's 2 ice dragons and her and the Night King. And then I thought Jon would have had to befriend Drogon and then go off and take down Cersei. That's the way that I pictured it. That's what I thought was going to happen. Now it didn't. So in a way, I was happy to be along for the ride, because I had no clue what was going to happen.
No, look, you and I discussed this last night and before you came out here as well. I mean, to have a show that is so deep ingrained in the pop culture landscape is so rare.
I'm going to miss you on Sunday night.
Well,
you and Susie coming over for the food truck. What are we going to do now?
Billions. You need to get into billions. You need to get into billions.
We'll have a billions parties?
We could. That wouldn't be a bad one, by the way. That's
good idea.
That's the next one.
Good idea.
Well,
Sunday nights will be free for Dungeons and Dragons, Rich.
Trying to get me in on all that.
Get him in. Create your character.
do
Don't
it.
worry, we've got a few things to hit here. I want to hit
Okay,
Dungeons
fine.
and Dragons. I want to hit Shazier's wedding with you.
Yeah.
But to me, again, just the way that everything wound up, just got a little and Jon Snow encapsulates my disappointment that his finish, his end, is worse off than what happened to Cersei. I know he's alive.
Absolutely.
But Cersei had a much better finish. It was a quick ending for her. She was with the person that she loved, despite it being weird.
Yeah.
And with it being her brother. But that was important to her. At least she had that. That Jon was brought back to life for what? He didn't even. I guess getting Daenerys involved in the battle against the Night King was important. But what was he brought back to life for?
to kill Daenerys as a tyrant? I mean, and then go back.
Yes, but she wouldn't have gotten across the way to be involved in all of this if it wasn't for him. It just seems to me just thrown and mashed together. And then so is he what is he now? Is he the king beyond a wall that doesn't need to be there anymore?
There's also
or-
a lot of like enforced celibacy that's gone on in the show. Like, I think that's another big takeaway. Like, John's going off into the woods to be celibate. All of the Unsullied are going off to this island to do who knows what. I mean, it's just a big ship full of dudes heading off to their island together. The dragon, kind of lonely unless it can reproduce asexually. I mean, it's kind of sad. Everybody was kind of, Sansa on the throne, kind of lonely, nobody there.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Arya
why-
leaves Gentry to go off on the boat.
Yeah,
like,
right. But why does the North need to be separate? Her brother is the king.
Well, also, like, okay, so, all right, you know what? I want the North to be independent. Well, I was waiting for everybody. Me too. I want to be the king of my
That's what
own
I'm saying.
land.
It's like these.
Yeah.
The fact it was just so neat and clean because Tyrion spoke so eloquently. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not the way I
I'm just
saw
glad
this
that
thing
like
finishing
John
up.
and Ghost reunited.
That was awesome.
awesome.
As a
But-
guy who worked for years on an HBO show with wolves, I was really upset that the wolf got no love. And so when he went out and petted him, because I used to have my wolf that played me on True Blood, and he liked me. He used to growl at everybody, but he liked me.
In real life, you
In
mean?
real life. Yeah, he liked me, so they would let me walk him and pet him and feed him.
That's cool.
And so I miss that. I miss that guy.
But where was our big Tormund John bro hug?
I don't know.
Like
man.
they didn't really. They just got up together and then took
Rode
the free
the
folk
horses.
back north. Like
I mean.
Hey,
well,
look. Again,
Lots of
as much as we're questioning about it, it still was something that got folks like us together. It was fun.
To see dragons
I
that
mean,
way on screen. I mean, as a kid, we didn't have technology like that when I was little.
And I got
We
to
had,
tell you, my wife brought the cake. Your wife has every Game of Thrones item that's ever been created in your house. Can you put up the doorstop? Let's put it up here. I had to take a
goes-
picture of this. There's Chris, look at this. There's the Hodor doorstop.
I did. I saw you post
I've got to
that.
get this.
Should have bought stock in that thing before we put this up. Yeah, no, it's amazing. We have everything. Oh, I'm a big shout out to my cousin Jonathan.
Yes.
Who got me all of the Game of Thrones scotches. They have House Baratheon, House Targaryen,
we've
House
got
Stark. They've got
we've got a
Johnny
White
White
Walker
Walker.
Yeah,
They've
we
got the
have that
Night's
here.
Watch.
We have
Yeah,
that here.
we've got
Yeah,
that up
yeah,
there
yeah.
too.
Sent me all the bottles. So thank you, cousin Jonathan.
It's everything. You
Yeah.
have everything in your house.
We got it all.
Yeah, I know. It's totally cool. And you
really
brought
cool.
what? Did you bring do you have the cookies over there?
Yeah,
I
we
got
brought
the-
some
we
Game
got
of Thrones
the Game of
Oreos.
Thrones
What are the Game of Thrones Oreos? What
So
are
they
those?
have each sigil on the cookie. So we have
It's stamped on the cookie?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have the
heads.
wolf. We have the dragon, the Night King,
Which one do you have over there, Mike?
I have 2 of my 3 characters.
and the
that I'm gonna-
Lannisters. We got the Lannisters.
I'm gonna do
one.
with-
Yeah. By the way, may
get to that.
no, I'll do it right now. May your survivor pool rest in peace.
The only
All
good-
of them. House Del Tufo is crumbling like that cookie. And
By the
milk.
way, only
I'll
good
tell you
thing the
what,
Night King's good for.
What's the House Del Tufo sigil? What's the symbol on the flag?
It's a microphone.
Is it okay?
What is it? Cargo short? Is it what it is? What is it? Mike's
Something
mouth
free.
is full. He's actually eating
Yeah.
an Oreo on a
Something he
live
didn't
radio
pay for.
television simulcast.
First Oreo in like 10, 15 years.
Hey,
Too.
and it's great, huh?
And it's really good. Ooh.
Okay, so
Might I
before
have-
we all started the final season, we had a draft, a snake draft. Brockman got the first overall selection in our Rich Eisen show Survivor Pool draft, where you get points for every episode in which your character survives. Mike Brockman, you chose Jon Snow as the first overall pick.
Yeah.
I chose Bran Stark as my first overall pick. Del Tufo went back-to-back with the Night King and Daenerys. How'd that work
Yeah,
out
really
for you?
did really well.
You came back and went Sam Tarly. I came back and went Tyrion and Arya back-to-back.
Yeah.
And then
I took Sansa.
you took Sansa, and Mike Del Tufo finished up with Cersei. So I swept. Every single character of mine survived. Same with you, Brockman. But our tiebreak is who sits on the crown.
Well, I'm gonna say,
Who sits
Rich,
on the throne?
I don't
There's no
know.
throne.
Sansa's also a queen, so I
He's
think
got you.
technically we
It's
tied.
tied.
Yeah, no. I get 5/6 of the win. You get 1/6 of the win.
There's no Iron Throne,
no
Rich.
Iron Throne.
There's no Iron Throne.
Joe,
so...
can you please?
Both
By the way, just put it up.
Brand's Iron Throne. It's his wheelchair.
Thank you, sir. By the way, did we put Del Tufo's up there too?
Sansa has
Just to
a-
see
Put
3
the-
red
put the-
X's
yes.
across. It's like tic-tac-toe.
Sansa has a crown, though.
Oh, okay. Does she real? Whatever. How was Shazier's wedding, sir?
It was amazing. Like, that guy is so inspiring. 18 months ago, my friend Ryan Shazier was paralyzed in a football game and told he was never going to walk again. He was never going to run around the backyard and play with his kid. And I got to watch him walk down the aisle and get married. I got to watch him dance all night. I mean, it was like, it's incredible. He's such a positive, inspiring force. That guy is incredible. It was amazing.
So, and look at the photograph we're showing of his beautiful family on his wedding day.
Yeah. Yeah. Just amazing.
Who was there?
Everybody. All the Steelers, all the brass, all the owners. And it was great.
It's you with James Conner.
James
right there.
Conner, yeah, he's awesome. Hung out with Vance McDonald. Wound up grabbing dinner with Ben over that weekend with Charlie Batch and
Ben is in
Villanueva.
Roethlisberger.
Big Ben.
He was at the wedding too.
Pouncey, yeah, everybody, all the guys. Yeah, Cam Hayward, yeah, the whole gang. Juju. And I've gotten to know some of the guys over the years.
Who picked up the check?
Ben did.
Hey,
Ben did. I tried. I went to the bathroom, pulled the sneaky bathroom, and Ben had gone. I don't know how he pulled it off, but he got the check.
Wow.
And there was like 20 people.
Ben Roethlisberger. Could he be finally as a nearly 40-year-old man, all grown up? No, I mean seriously, he has done it before, but it was interesting that he did it again, where for the first time, I guess in a while, he brought everybody down to Georgia to have a little confab.
Yeah.
And he's not doing his radio show apparently.
It's a different vibe this year, I think, because
Did you get it? Did you get that sense at the wedding too?
Very much. Very much. I think it was the team had fractured into individuals, and it's back to being a team now. And I also think that there's a lot of wind in the sails because of the draft, which I have you and Michigan football to thank for that.
Bush and that kid Gentry is Zach's gonna be a good tight end for Ben. He's a big, huge target.
I'm excited.
But Devin Bush, that kid is no joke, man. You're gonna love him.
I'm going to get you the first, out of the equipment
Yeah.
room shirt for civilian use. I'm going to get you the first Bush jersey.
I will take it, man.
All right.
I will take it.
Yeah,
do you want a Michigan Devin Bush jersey? Is it like a
Oh
little jersey exchange?
I would love it.
A jersey
you
exchange.
kidding?
I will do a jersey
like
exchange
that
with you,
idea.
man.
Done. Okay, great.
And we'll do it as I'm a cleric putting on the cloak of invisibility, rolling the 20-sided die in your basement. Is that what I'm
Rich,
doing?
it's like getting back on a bicycle.
By the way,
for
did you hear me?
This is amazing. Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Done and done.
Walking through some sort of see, I'm done now. I'm done with my Dungeons and Dragons. But I don't know. You'll get me over there. Thanks again for having me and Susie over.
Oh, please, anytime.
You have got a beautiful home, sir, and a beautiful wife and a beautiful setup. And you're lucky I did not 5-finger discount that Hodor doorstop. That's just my love for you. That I
Hey,
didn't take
viewers,
it.
get Rich the Hodor doorstop. Come on.
Thank you for the Oreos here today, and thanks for coming
yes.
No
You're the
problem.
best.
Anytime.
You're the
down. At
best, Joe.
Joe Manganiello on Twitter and Instagram as well. That's right here on The Rich Eisen Show.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.